Hello my dear YouTuber friends, and I hope you're all keeping well. Welcome to this new video. Recently, over the past couple of days, I released a video saying that if you've been holding off with Flight Sim 2024, now might be the time for you to jump in. And I was quite positive with my experience of Flight Sim 2024 so far in that video. Well, the comments tell a different story. It was the majority of the comments were from people who were simply or are simply not having a good time with Flight Sim 2024. And in this video, I'm going to share some of those comments with you. I believe it's important to give a balanced view. So while some of us, well, it could be many of us, are having a pleasant time and having good experiences with Flight Sim 2024 at the moment, seems a whole range of people are not, and I really feel it's important to highlight these and report on these. So I'm going to do that in this video, share some of your comments from that video. I'll link that video that I'm talking about down below in the description in case you've not seen it. There are a slew of comments in that, so it's well worth watching and reading those comments. At the end of the video, I'll wrap up and give my own thoughts on the situation and my own thoughts for those people who are not having a good experience or good time with Flight Sim 2024. Okay, let's not dilly-dally. Let's get on with this video. Okay, so let's start putting up some of your comments from that previous video. Not everybody is having a good time. A lot of people in that, well, who were commenting certainly were not. One from CEO here. It's absolutely no time for simmers who are serious about this. You could have expanded on that. I believe you commented on a couple more people's comments. Just try and be polite. I believe you, I mean, you were in that comment. So thanks very much, CEO, for your comment. Andy, don't agree with you, Hudson. Last time I tried was 2 days ago and had a 55-minute wait to load up, stuck at 68%. His Flight Sim 2020 loads up in no more than 10 minutes. It's got a 1 GB full fibre and a high-end PC with 64 GB of memory. So he shouldn't be having problems, and he is. Just goes to show you, people, not everybody's having a good time with Flight Sim 2024. Thanks very much for your comment, Andy. Here's one I really like. Thanks very much, Idle Pug. Could have been so much better a launch for Asobo if they had just arranged with Microsoft to open a preview version of 2024 like the beta stream for Flight Sim 2020. Then we would have had 6 months of testing before Flight Sim 2025 launch proper next summer. Yep, Flight Sim 2020 did have like a 6-month beta test. Selected people, they were testing it for months on end, ironing out bugs. We had a tech alpha for a weekend. Wasn't long enough, and that was even more buggy than the sim now. So absolutely agree with that, Idle Plug. If I could have pinned this comment as well, if I could have several pinned comments, this will be another one. Can't escape the feeling that Microsoft, with one eye always on the GP subscriber numbers, had promised investors it would launch in holiday season 2024 and would add, you know, sort of sales to the GPU subs and goodness knows what. I could imagine it's not a pleasant working environment at Asobo just now. I'm sure that the internet all over them is really is really not helpful or unhelpful. I think you meant there. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure the internet is helpful. Yep, internet whatever there is helpful to them. Not saying you're doing that, Hudson. I know, my friend. Your views are pretty balanced, and you call out the good parts as well as the not so good parts. Merry Christmas, Idle Pug. And I try to. You know, if things are not going well, I will call out the bad parts, and I have done in the past. I'm just currently having a decent time with Flight Sim 2024 at the moment. A lot of you are not. Let's continue in that vein. Martin. Disagree. The graphical experience in my time playing the areas I regularly fly over, such as Dublin, looked noticeably better in 2020. Sorry, my pronunciations are not great sometimes. On Series X. Also, several areas have been downgraded graphically on Series X since launch, so he's gone back to Flight Sim 2020. I'll return to Flight Sim 2024 in 2026. Hopefully it's fixed by then. Thanks very much for your comments, Martin. Hopefully you won't have to wait that long. One here from Matt. I'm fuming that the multiplayer is abysmal and those words in Flight Sim 2024. Literally, you're just aimlessly flying around with no shared cockpit, no ability to see your friends, and for the most part, nothing gets done. It's pathetic. I hate it. Don't hold back, Martin. But no, Simhanger did a multiplayer flight recently. He only had a couple of issues that was more to do with his controls rather than the multiplayer aspect. I'll link it down below. It does work. I've got to try it myself. We will do that at some point, people. But yeah, no, thanks very much for your comments, Matt. Oh, one from my favourite YouTube name of all time, The Real Laughing Gravy. I love that name, my friend. I see a wide range of comments here and everywhere else from it. It's working fine for me, just a few issues. I'm sure they'll fix it soon. 2, it crashes every time I start it. I've never been able to fly, and everywhere in between. If I wanted to pay a big chunk of money to find out if I'm one of the lucky ones, I'll buy a stack of lottery tickets, not a flight sim. I'll stick with Flight Sim 2020 until the volume of complaining comments goes down to a trickle. I tested software for a living for 30 years before I retired. Interesting. So I'm not going to do it now. Thanks very much, Laughing Gravy. Wonderful name. Keep commenting. You can see how many people like that comment. I liked it. I loved it myself. I loved the name. I could do with you on my Christmas table. Not yourself, but the real Laughing Gravy would be fantastic. Thanks very much. Oh, one here from Mr. Haspel. Buying the Xbox Series X version was a big waste of $140 for the Premium Deluxe version. Goodness me, people. I mean, I had a feeling there would be some issues. Go with Game Pass, for goodness sake. Just to see and then buy a pack, you know. I'm not going to wait 4 years for it all to get straightened out. Glad I kept the 2020. And I know a lot of people did buy these expensive packs, Premium Aviator, Premium Deluxe, and goodness knows what. So I do feel for you. I know a lot of people got refunded, but you know, obviously new launches always, if it's available on Game Pass, go with that option first, people. Okay, just want to add a couple of in-between comments here. Let me just find one. Oh, one from AD on PC. PC user. As we full-time travel in the RV across the US, lucky you, we use Starlink. Had no issues. Download is only about 130. Interesting. Okay. Only issues I've had are ATC related and the odd spawning of the plane in a building. Yeah, with all of that. But I'm pretty happy and lucky. Cheers and Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, AD. Thanks very much for your comments. Always put some great comments. Oh, another one here. Internet speed theory from MD Hayes. Could be wrong, but my theory is that all the ones who are loving it have great internet and good PCs, and all the ones who are moaning say it's rubbish and have slow internet and consoles and old PCs. Not quite. We saw a comment before of somebody who had a good PC and good internet. So I don't know what's going on, but people are not. Some people are getting great performance and a good experience, others are not. Internet speed is going to make or break the experience just as much as your hardware when everything is being streamed. Well, thanks very much, MD Hayes. And I just had to put up the pinned comment here. This is by Dodger. I think Flight Sim 2024 runs a lot better. It has Good PC specs, you can read them there. 4090 with 64GB of RAM and a gigabyte internet. I'm glad I've added the 32GB of RAM. I've got to do that myself with the RAM and VRAM issues. In dense areas like Los Angeles, he uses about 50% of his GPU and about 32GB of RAM, peaking to 34 to 37 gigs peaks. It's getting 50 to 90 FPS in LA. That's fantastic. Read the rest of that comment yourself. It's a pinned comment. Found this one fantastic. What impressed me the most is the scenery and night lighting. Even though I use Steam, if others are on PC are on the fence, they should try it for a month with Game Pass. Absolutely. One of the main reasons I pinned this comment. I don't have Game Pass, but if they're going to try and they're trying to get him to join for a free month, do it for the 3 months, Dodger. Indiana Jones is a fantastic... Is that the Great Circle? Something like that. So, fantastic game to try on that PC. You're going to love it. If you're an old Indiana Jones fan, you'll love that game. So it's worth trying Game Pass for a month anyway. Especially if you get it free. If they have a free month, they should use it and try Flight Sim 2024. Amen to that. Thanks very much, Dodger. So there you go, lots of various comments, a lot of the comments there from people not having such a good time. Let me wrap up with my own thoughts and comments. So there you go, some of your comments and feelings shared, and like I said, I feel it's important to do that. What are my own thoughts? There absolutely should have been some kind of long beta process with Flight Sim 2024 before it was released. So bug testings and people's opinions for both Xbox and PC users, if that was possible. I mean, it would probably be only possible on PC. Perhaps that's one of the reasons they didn't do it. Perhaps. We're running a poll in our Discord. At the time of me recording this, the poll is still running on, it was me saying, you know, should Flight Sim 2024 have been delayed? Yes or no? It's a pretty much landslide at the moment from people saying, yeah, it absolutely should have been delayed. I've got to agree with that. It wasn't ready at launch. That was pretty evident. It's pretty evident from the number of people who are still having issues with the sim now. And it's great that I'm flying it. It's great. I'm thankful that I can. I'm thankful that I am having good experiences with it. So it's nice to be able to fly it now. And it is my sim of choice at the moment. But for those people who are not having a good time, and it's a whole load of people, it just feels, and somebody did mention it in the comments, of course, I've shared that, that it wasn't ready. And it certainly should have been delayed. It feels like they were meeting deadline and targets, and it's a dangerous stance to set. I mean, look, Flight Sim 2020 is beloved by so many people, and it brought so many new simmers to the sim. The state of Flight Sim 2024 at the moment, if you're going to have a bad time and you're a new simmer, you're not likely to return to it. I don't know, people, do let me know your own thoughts down below in the comments. I'm sure you all are. So there you go, that's some of the negative comments and people who are not having a good time with Flight Sim 2024 shared. Like I said, I do feel that was important to do so. Let me know your thoughts on the video. Give it a like if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe for more. Be polite in the comments, please. And I'll see you soon.